Welcome to Masterpiece Tarot. Here you'll find timeless messages to guide your soul's awakening. If you're here, trust. You are meant to be. You can support my channel by liking, sharing, and subscribing. These help support my mission of creating more peace on Earth. Okay, collective, welcome in. Welcome, welcome. I'm going to do two readings. The first one I'm going to do is an in-depth divine masculine reading. And then the one I'll do after will be an in-depth divine feminine reading. Okay. All right, Spirit, thanks for using me as a channel to bring through these messages for the Divine Masculine Collective. What messages would you like to share with us? Help us to understand some of the deeper layers. What is Divine Masculine working through at this time? What's going on in their mind, in their heart? What are they conscious of? What are they not seeing? What has influenced them in the recent past? What might they expect in the future? And would like a final outcome. And we are probing the deeper dimensions, okay, right now. So I think I said thank you to Spirit. Okay, Spirit. This is for the Divine Masculine Collective. Divine Masculine Collective. Here we go. A Nine of Pentacles in the reverse. Okay. In the upright, this is a single person. In the reverse, this is somebody who is, I think, in something right now. Okay, they're not entirely an independent, sovereign being. They are in something. Okay. Crossing card, the High Priestess. This could be somebody in their energy. Okay, this could be them. Their own intuition might be a factor here. In the conscious space, an Ace of Wands. Okay. There's a sense of passion, something new. It's a source of passion. And in the unconscious space, there's the Judgment in reverse. Judgment is about it's about an awakening. It's about convening with the higher self. So there's a sense here that masculine and maybe not connecting in with their higher self, but they might not be seeing this. They might actually think that they are following some higher guidance. But in reality, what this suggests is that that is not the case. There's some aspect of spiritual path that is blocked from masculine's understanding or vision right now. In the recent past, Three of Cups, okay, celebration, some kind of gathering. And in the future here, we've got a Ten of Wands. Ten of Wands in the reverse. So tens are about completions. It's a sense of laying down the burdens with the Ten of Wands. In the reverse, it's like they're holding on to something here. Holding on to something. This could be a masculine in the collective who is moving away from something. This could be a process that they're in. They're moving to calmer waters. Have to see what that's about. Others, there's a perception of a Ten of Cups. So maybe seeing this individual as being quite happy in something fulfilling, something that it looks like a happy family here. That's what's being seen. That's what's in the environment with regard to this individual. Hopes and fears the world. So there's a sense, I think, that the masculine is, really, I think, hoping that this will, that whatever they're in here is heralding in some type of a level up for them. That they'll be closing out a cycle, maybe whatever it is that they're moving away from, and leveling up. Okay, achieving something, essentially. Now we have our steps to the outcome. We've got an 8 of Swords, a Knight of Wands, a Queen of Wands. Here come the court cards, a Page of Cups, a Page of Wands, lots of people, a Queen of Swords in the reverse, a 7 of Swords. Oof. Guys, this is a long journey, and death and rebirth in the reverse. Okay. It's a long way to go to get to a transformation that's not happening. So there's something fundamentally, I would say, out of alignment here. Okay, right now for this masculine, okay, take it as it resonates. I'm especially drawn to this 7 of Swords at the end of the reading, right before a transformation that doesn't happen. Death and rebirth in the reverse. There's a real feeling of stagnation here. This card came out, death in the reverse was in my last reading. Pretty big theme here. A transformation that is blocked. In fact, the last 3 cards, a Queen of Swords in the reverse. This is somebody who can be very manipulative. An air sign feminine energy who can be very manipulative. There's a sense of deception here with the 7 of Swords. And it's keeping this masculine stuck. We don't even really know who this masculine is, as a matter of fact. The masculine's identity, their own intuition may be blocking them. They might actually be a high priest or a high priestess, but it's like something's inverted here. Okay, the 9 of Pentacles, 9s are usually about getting close to a completion, but 9s are like a single person. This is one person getting ready to meet their other half or their divine counterpart. In the reverse, they're not single, they're in something. And their own intuition may be keeping them stuck. You know, there might be something from the past. Maybe to do with a group dynamic. This could be conditioning, how somebody conceives of themselves. We see a lot of cycles not closing out. Judgment in the reverse. We're not waking up. This is somebody whose consciousness is being tamped down. Somebody's own understanding is off kilter. They're not seeing something clearly. This masculine that I'm reading for, they're not seeing something clearly. They may not be seeing themselves clearly, is sort of how it's feeling. They may not be seeing themselves clearly. Who is this masculine, Spirit? I mean, look at this. We have a Knight of Wands, a Queen of Wands, a Page of Cups, a Page of Wands, a Queen of Swords. Who's the masculine, Spirit? Who are we reading for? A Knight of Cups. Okay, now we're getting somewhere. Knight of Cups. And the Star in the reverse. Yeah, this is somebody who's not healing. It's like maybe there's a young person here in their energy, or they could themselves be this young person, a knight. Somebody who's acting from love, maybe somebody who's offering a cup to this masculine. This could be somebody that they're involved with. And there seems to be love here. But with the star in the reverse, there's a disconnect from the higher wisdom, the wisdom that is often available to us when it's time to heal. We tap into spirit and we figure out what we need to do. How can we heal ourselves, right? Well, in this case, there's love, but this is somebody who, again, there's love, but there's not healing. There's stagnation in terms of maybe spiritual growth, something. I'm not sure. Let's see. Clarify this high priestess energy. What's this here, spirit? A 2 of swords and a 7 of swords. Together that makes 9 swords. Somebody's trapped up in their head. Yeah, this is this energy, the 2 of swords and the 7 of swords. This is in opposition to the essence of the high priestess. High priestess is somebody with divine clarity. They are a clear channel. They see things really clearly, and they use their intuition to do it. This suggests that this masculine is somebody who's trying to use their mind, who's using logic, but this is actually causing confusion. There's something deceptive. They may be deceiving themselves, perhaps about what it is that they're in, the nature of the thing that they're in. They're getting in their own way, is what I'm seeing here. This could also be somebody in their energy who comes off as a high priestess or wants to be seen as a high priestess, but who in reality is this 2 of swords to the 7 of swords. Somebody who's maybe blind themselves or confused themselves and doing something deceptive, or who's keeping this masculine confused, okay, indecisive, and in something that is inherently sneaky, deceptive. Okay, there could be cheating, lying, sneaking, something about the setup here. Either the masculine or this person who's in the masculine's life. Ace of Wands, clarify spirit. We have a King of Pentacles. Okay, we could be talking about a King of Pentacles here. This is how they see themselves. And the Emperor, yeah, I think we're talking about a earth sign masculine, perhaps, who sees themselves as a leader, an emperor, somebody with power, authority, all right? And this is somebody who, you know, the Ace of Wands is a great card. This is a passionate new start. So this could be something that's on the masculine's mind. This thing that they're in right now could be this Ace of Wands, this passionate new start that they had with somebody. Her eyes are closed in that card, though, and I feel like this is an imaginary. This masculine might be imagining a passionate new start. All right, clarify judgment in the reverse. This not waking up, this misalignment with the higher self, or just simply not hearing the call, not being connected to spiritual guidance. We have a King of Cups and a 2 of Pentacles. Our masculine might be juggling, with the 2 of Pentacles, juggling something here. It could have to do with love, with the King of Pentacles. It could have to do with another individual, a masculine water sign. Or it could just have to do with, you know, the love that they may be trying to juggle the love for themselves with love for another, love that, you know, for others, love for family, work, career. They're trying to balance out something about love. And there's something confusing. Something is not being seen about this. Like the King of Cups is usually very nurturing, loving, and they take action. They show the people that they love them. They do nice things. They say nice things. They encourage growth and self-expression. But it's almost like this, I'm not sure, you guys. We'll have to come back and try to understand this one here in a moment. Let's keep going. Let's see if we can get more info on who is the King of Cups, who's the King of Pentacles, the Emperor. I think these are all aspects of masculine. Might be that masculine's loving nature is suppressed. They might be somebody who's more focused on the material world and this kind of power, this, you know, having power with the Emperor. The part of them that is a leader when it comes to love may be suppressed. So again, this could be about maybe suppressing self-love. You know, maybe they're juggling other people's needs or something, or judgments at this time. Yeah, that's what it is. They are, okay, judgment. This card is about, if you take a look at this card, that's the higher self. That's, you know, above the human there. There's that kind of, you know, figure that's floating above. It's like elevated. It's like a spiritual aspect of self, the higher self. It's almost like this masculine is, and this is in the reverse, and so it's almost like they're sort of cut off from spirit. They are juggling, you know, something on down here on earth, and they're not seeing it. They're not maybe seeing how it's affecting love, connection, something like this. I'm not sure. Let's see. Let's keep going. Three of Cups in the recent past, Spirit. We have the Chariot in the reverse and the Six of Pentacles. Whoa, in the reverse here. Okay. Sixes are about balance. This is about equal give and take. The Chariot's about movement, determination, preparation. There's something about a group dynamic in the past that was stopping this masculine that we're reading for from balancing things out, okay, in a fair way. Maybe with another, maybe for self. It's like there's influence of a group here at play. This could be societal conditioning. This could be a family dynamic. This could be a work situation. And these are people that the masculine feels an affinity for. But there's a sense that it's this dynamic that is blocking this forward movement towards something that's a little bit more balanced, something that's a little bit more fair. Maybe fair for masculine, maybe fair in general. Ten of Wands in the reverse here in the future. We have a Ten of Swords in the reverse. And a Queen of Cups in the reverse. Okay. All right, let's take a look here. Yeah, a lot of blocked energy, a lot of. So what I'm seeing here, before this masculine can step into this new beginning that they're hoping for with the World card, before they can actually transform something, okay, transformation is not happening at the end of this reading, okay, in the near future, these cards explain why it's not happening, but the meaning, I think, is that before this leveling up can happen, before this transformation can happen, something's got to be looked at to do with endings, to do with closing out cycles. You know, Queen of Cups in the reverse is about love. It's about nurture and being emotionally intelligent. But it's also like how we love ourselves, right? In the reverse, it's like, I'm seeing that this masculine is having a hard time with self-love. And what I'm seeing here, okay, Ten of Swords and Ten of Wands, both in the reverse. These are cycles that you definitely want to close out. A betrayal, where somebody's harsh with their words, cruel, stabbing you in the back. This is a cycle you would definitely want to close out. But it's in the reverse. So it's like this masculine's having a hard time closing something out with somebody who's been cruel, somebody who's been mean, somebody who's been hurtful. They're also having a hard time putting down these burdens. It's like they feel like they must continue to carry this heavy burden. And this says a lot about this idea that, you know, closure is important, cutting the cord, right? You know, when we move on in life, you know, a cord cutting, cutting the cord. So like these can be spiritual ties, but what happens is these cords actually keep us stuck to old timelines, to old patterns and dynamics. And when we don't cut cords, when we don't establish clear and healthy boundaries, we in a sense are tying ourselves to, we're entrapping ourselves in a past cycle that's not serving anymore. So this is a masculine who is not giving themselves enough love, not giving themselves an opportunity that's needed in order to close out some type of betrayal and some type of burden. Now, this masculine does see or think or believe or is taking action to move out of stormy waters. So tell us about this. Whoa, that was a lot of cards. Tell us about this, Spirit. Tell us about, what is it that masculine's moving out of? What are they moving toward? Help us to see this. The Empress. I would think you might be moving toward an Empress. And there's an Ace of Wands in the reverse. Okay. Here's what I'm getting. The Ace of Wands in the upright is like a very phallic. This is about passion. This is about a passionate new start. When it's in the reverse, it ain't happening. There's something that has blocked, that has blocked this. And I think what I'm seeing is, let's say there's a pregnancy here. Let's say there's an Empress who's pregnant. This might be about, the Ace of Wands in the reverse might be about withholding that energy, okay, so that something can come to term. This could also be about a masculine who is moving toward something more fertile, okay, moving away from something where something was out of whack, where there should be a lot of creativity and ambition. There is something about a certain dynamic that is putting a ceiling on that. It's putting it's dampening, maybe dampening the masculine's creativity, their ability to, it might be diminishing their ambition. There's a sense maybe that masculine has been settling for something. And it could be an empress here, okay? Somebody could have gotten pregnant. And, you know, this could definitely be read a couple different ways, but those are the energies that I'm seeing here. I'm not sure how masculine sees this. I'm feeling like it could go a couple of ways here. You know, this energy is all connected, though. You know, wands and empresses. I mean, the empress is the divine feminine of the deck, but she's also pregnant. Okay, so she's going to give birth. She's fertile. And this ties into creativity. The Ace of Wands in the reverse also ties into creativity, but it's blocked. So I think maybe what we can say is that this is a divine masculine who is moving away from something that was blocking creativity and ambition and going towards something that is more suitable, more fertile, holds more potential, something like this. And this is this is how they see themselves right now. They could have been moving away from something that was quite cold towards something more warm, nurturing, loving, that sort of a thing. Ten of Cups, clarify spirit. We have a Queen of Pentacles, it's an earth sign feminine, and a Ten of Cups here in the reverse. Wow, we have a Ten of Cups in the upright and a Ten of Cups in the reverse and a Queen of Pentacles. Look at those cards. Huh. So, like, what I'm seeing here is that there are mixed feelings in the environment. I think some folks are seeing this, maybe it's a Queen of Pentacles that's in this dynamic with our masculine, okay, who apparently is not healing, or who's in some type of a confusing dynamic here. On the one hand, it's being seen as a Ten of Cups. This is everything this masculine could ever want. This is just perfect. This is a happy home and a happy family. But on the other hand, this is exactly the opposite of that. You know, the thing that would make this masculine happy, this ain't it. There's something blocking that from happening. Okay? And it could be to do with a Queen of Pentacles, or it could be a Queen of Pentacles involved here. Pretty interesting. Okay, the World, hopes and fears. Why is this a hope? Is this a fear? Is this a fear that something's going to totally close out? Even though it might be something that masculine wants, masculine might really want to level up, but is there something that could be lost that would be painful? Ace of Swords in the reverse. And a Seven of Cups. This is a fear. Oddly. Normally I would think that the World card would be hope. That's something you would aspire to. But I think for this masculine, there's a fear that closing out this cycle is going to lead to some type of confusion, that it's going to lead into chaos, that it's going to, with the Ace of Swords in the reverse, that it's not what's supposed to happen, that, Ace of Swords in the upright is about truth, it's about clarity. In the reverse, there's a concern that something's just not being seen clearly. And that jives with this Seven of Cups here. Yeah, there's a fear of leveling up. There's a sense that this masculine is not trusting this process. They may not be trusting themselves to make good choices. It could relate to poor choices that have been made in the past. What's the Eight of Swords here? We got a lot. I don't know that I'm going to read all these. We're not going to read all these court cards. We're just not. We'll read these last couple. And let's do the Eight of Swords. This is an interesting card. So this is somebody who is all tied up. They're bound, right? It's almost like they're trapped in their head. Their own thoughts are holding them prisoner. So that kind of connects in with those fears that the masculine may be experiencing around thoughts, self-concept. The Fool card, I think that's a Cancer, and the Three of Swords. Yeah, I think this really does connect. This really is just reinforcing what I just said. This is somebody who made a choice in the past that led to heartbreak. It led to entrapment and then heartbreak. So this could be strongly influencing the choices that this masculine is making now. Okay, they took a leap of faith. The leap of faith proved to be painful, heartbreaking. Okay, maybe they got involved with a situation that wasn't maybe what it seemed, that ended up being very burdensome. Maybe there was, again, could almost be like verbal abuse here. With Ten of Swords, this to me, it's like in the context of a relationship that breaks down, next to a Ten of Wands, next to a Queen of Cups in the reverse. This is like a very toxic dynamic. This could be a very karmic relationship that masculine leapt toward, but which ultimately left them feeling trapped in their own thoughts, up in their own head, questioning themselves, not seeing themselves clearly. And I think that energy persists. We see it with that Ace of Swords in the reverse. We see it here with the Judgment in the reverse. Not seeing self clearly, not healing necessarily. This is very much tied to these fears. Maybe trusting something that maybe they would have been better served to question first. Okay, what is this Seven of Swords? It's like this is somebody who's also with the Knight. We've got 2 pages, a Knight and a Queen here, and a King. That's a whole family. There's a whole family here. There's a King and a Queen of Wands side by side. Now we have a Page of Cups and a Page of Wands. These are like kids. We have a Queen of Swords in the reverse. This could be like a mother figure or an auntie or something. A lot of energies commingling here in a family dynamic. It's almost like masculine. The sense I'm getting is that masculine is not well individuated from this family group. Like, you know that thing where it's a psychological term, it's called leaving home, but it represents the time where a young person moves away from their family of origin and they figure out who they are. And it's a process, you know, it goes on for a while, but they figure out very clearly who they are in relation to their family. They individuate very clearly from this family unit. And I'm kind of feeling like here, maybe that individuation process has somehow been thwarted, stunted, something. And when we look here at the very end, we have a Seven of Swords and the Death and Rebirth. It's like this death and rebirth would represent that leaving home process. So it's almost like somebody was doing something manipulative, a group was doing something manipulative to keep this masculine stuck. They don't want this masculine to leave home. They want to keep this masculine. I'm sorry, but that's what I'm seeing here. It just is what I'm seeing. And the Queen of Swords in the reverse, out of all these family members, everybody's in the upright. We've got counterparts. It could be a mom and a dad. We've got a couple of kids. And then we've got a Queen of Swords in the reverse. This is the one court card that came out in the reverse. This is the person capable of creating a Ten of Swords in the reverse and a Ten of Wands in the reverse if they're doing the Ten of Swords thing in the reverse. And this is putting, maybe it's the masculine's feminine loving nature in reverse, because here we have this energy in the upright with the masculine. So the masculine aspect of self is still able to show up in love, maybe. But the feminine aspect, the part that can receive love, who can hold space, okay, maybe for self even, is needing some work. Okay. Let's clarify this death. Whoa, devil on the bottom of the deck. Let's do death and rebirth here. And then we'll close it out because this is a long one. A Five of Swords, conflict, adversity, and a Six of Swords. Yeah. So here's the Six of Swords again. We have it here, how the masculine's seeing themselves with the Ace of Wands in the reverse and the Empress. And it's showing up again with the Death in the reverse. There's some type of conflict. This could be internal conflict. I think that is eventually going to cause this masculine to need to leave. It could be leave a mindset behind, leave a certain way of thinking or doing things. It could actually be leaving a physical place. But this transformation is something that needs to happen for masculine, this leaving home. This is a masculine who wants to leave. Okay? They see themselves as the Six of Swords. They want to move into calmer waters. They want to get away from this Ten of Swords, Ten of Wands in the reverse. They want more love. They want clarity. They don't want to repeat the mistakes of the past. They don't want to feel trapped in their head. They know that to do this, they're going to have to make some pivotal changes here. Because I don't think anybody ever is comfortable standing on the edge of a big level up, right? Hope, but it's a fear for the masculine. It's not comfortable to stand there knowing that you're putting like a glass ceiling over your head. You know you're maybe meant for more, capable of more. That feeling of settling, right? So, but I think what I'm really getting is that this is a masculine who's not awake to, with the Judgment in the reverse, they haven't quite harnessed themselves to their divine calling, to the divine. You know, they haven't surrendered essentially to this process. And it's understandable because this is somebody who is an emperor, okay? And emperors, as we all know, love to have control. That's one of the hallmarks of an emperor. But it's also one of it's like their Achilles heel, though, too. It's the thing that gets in their own way the most, is their need for control. But this is a masculine with vision, okay? This is somebody who isn't completely cut off from their vision, their visions. I think this is a deeply empathic masculine who is cut off from their own empathic nature, with that King of Cups being in the unconscious, hidden space there. Placement. It's almost like they're trying to juggle this logical minded part of the self with this emotional, more feminine part of their self. But I do like that I see this card here because it's here. I mean, if the card wasn't here, we could say, well, it's nowhere. This sense of being connected to the divine, truly connected to the divine purpose, their divine purpose, and their spiritual guides, their spirit team. But here, it's just suppressed, okay? It's in the unconscious space. It's not non-existent, it's just suppressed. So this implies that with a little bit of work, this connection can become a little bit more conscious, and they can begin to take more intentional action to move themselves toward where it is that I think they would like to go, where it is that they would like to go, which is some type of a level up, where there's more truth, more clarity, more alignment, less burden. Okay, that's what I've got here. Let's do, I think we could do 3 final cards. Last messages here, Spirit, for the Divine Masculine Collective. Last final messages here, please and thank you. Are these every which way? Yeah, they sure are. These cards, all my cards have got disorderly. All right. 6 of Cups. Soulmates. Yeah. It came out in my first reading. The Queen of Pentacles. There's a counterpart to that King of Pentacles here that we saw in the conscious space. And the Chariot in the reverse again. Yeah. This is a time to go within. You know, this can be about forward movement, the Chariot. In the reverse, we're not quite ready to move. I think masculine wants to be on the move. We have 2 6 of Swords showing up here. There's a strong desire to be moving ahead, but I think that's going to be facilitated by going within, maybe tapping more into the feminine nature of self and connecting to your true nature. Soulmates can help mirror our true nature back to us. So it's not necessarily about connecting with a soulmate, more so about connecting with your true self. Okay, those are the messages for the Divine Masculine Collective. Thank you all for tuning in. Bye for now.